How's it going, Raider Nation? It's JT coming at you with another episode of the East Coast Pre-Game Show with no NJ Raider Nation today. Unfortunately, that is A-okay. I'll be handling it all. We should be back next week together, but I'm recording this right before I leave to go to Vegas. I'm hella excited. I'm seeing the Chargers game this week, and that is the game I'm going to be talking about today with you guys. So, this game, whether or not the Raiders make the playoffs, this game is still important because we could be the reason why the Chargers don't make the playoffs, which is a win in my book. The Chargers absolutely need to win this game in order to make playoffs, like 100%. And we need to win this game to even have a chance at playoffs. And even if we don't, being able to be the reason the Chargers don't make the playoffs is a blessing in disguise. Even though it's a loss, it's still a win in the long run because the Chargers don't make the playoffs again. But going into this game before this past week with injury updates and stuff like that, I was definitely not, looking forward to this game, especially before the Seahawks game. But even though it's only an overtime win, it was a huge win in terms of morale, in terms of proving that we can beat, above 500 teams and not just teams like the Broncos or the Texans. So going into this game, I started to get a little more confident, but I'm definitely not on the point where I think it's a guaranteed win. Like some people are saying on Twitter, so as one guy say that it's an easy win. It is never an easy win. It is a division game against a team that needs this win to make the playoffs. It's never an easy win, especially when we're talking about us who have struggled to win games this season. It's definitely not a given. So right now, we are facing, obviously, the LA Chargers. Right now, as of today, Trey Pipkins, Corey Linsley, and Mike Williams have been ruled out for the game, which is huge. Those are three massive players. Corey Linsley's been out for a little bit, or he's been in and out of injury. Trey Pipkins had a knee injury, and he was not participating all week. Same thing with Mike Williams. He's been not participating all week in practice, so that is a huge loss for them, all three of those players. And their O-line is already really, really bad without their first-round pick in Rashawn Slater. But now they're missing out on Trey Pipkins, who did a really good job against Max Crosby last time we faced them this season. And then Corey Linsley has been a star at center for them. Sorry, I was about to sneeze. I had to hold it in. And then for us, we're only missing Jesper Horsted and Kendall Vickers, who are two players that, although we don't want to see injuries, but they're not major players for us. We still have Denzel Perryman, Josh Jacobs as questionable, and Nate Hobbs still has not been activated yet. However, I expect all three of those players to play on Sunday. Nate Hobbs is still probably the least likely to play Sunday, but I'm really hoping he does play because Anthony everyone on IR, and then we brought up Tyler Hall up from the practice squad to start. So if Hobbs comes back, Tyler Hall is definitely playing the slot. Hobbs will play outside opposite Yassine. And our secondary hopefully will be a little bit better than it has been. But if the pass rush can get home like it has been with Jerry Tillery and even Andrew Billings and Bilal Nichols, I think are against their now decimated O-line, we have a shot on defense to stop them. Obviously, they're really bad at the run, and we were really good at the run, but they're really good at the pass, and our secondary is bad enough where it could be an issue. But if we get after Justin Herbert enough, if we force him to make errant throws or sack him or whatever, that could be a difference maker in this game for sure. And then we're talking about the Chargers defense versus our offense. Their defense is allowing a historically high amount of rushing yards per game. They allow a 5.5 average to every running back they play. They faced James Conner last week, who's a sub-4 runner in terms of yards a carry average, and he had 120 yards against them. So the fact that Josh Jacobs is coming off a game where he had 229 yards and he's had 5 games above 100 yards, it's unless they sell out to stop him, like completely sell out and have Derwin James in the box every play, I don't think they're stopping Josh Jacobs. In terms of Devontae Adams, he's basically a 1,000-yard receiver at this point. He has 999 yards, 10 touchdowns. And last game, they struggled to stop him. They hit 141 yards and 1 touchdown in his Raider debut. It didn't end up mattering in the end, but we almost won that game still, despite Carr playing one of his worst games of his career. So if Carr can continue to play like he has been, not throw 2 picks like he did against the Seahawks, but play relatively clean football, give it to Devontae Adams and feed Jacobs, our offense should do just fine against their defense. Obviously, playmakers on their side, Khalil Mack, who was a game wrecker last time, and they also have Derwin James, who's an absolute beast. And I don't know about their secondary. I don't know who's playing. I kind of lost track of how J.C. Jackson is at this point in the season, or if he's out for the season. I don't really remember. Because I don't really care. I don't care about the Chargers. Now I do. But even looking at team stats, we are averaging more points per game and less points allowed per game than them. They're only scoring 22.9 points per game. We're scoring 24. They are allowing 25.6, and we're allowing 25.1. So in my opinion, it should be a high-scoring game. We have more total yards on offense by 29 yards. 19 yards. We allow 1 less yard a game than them, but their rush yards allowed is 151 a game. They allow 151 rushing yards a game, which is astronomically terrible. And we only allow 117, so I don't know how much Austin Eckler is really going to get involved in the run game, but he should be a threat in the pass game like he always is against us. But ESPN has us at 69% chance of winning, which is, I hate that. That just makes me think we're going to lose. They changed the spread so that we are actually the favored team by 1 point, and the Chargers are now the underdog, so I also don't like that. I don't like that idea. It's just the mental of it. People saying that it could be a pretty good win, and I feel like Raider Nation's getting a little confident. I hope we're not, but I'm struggling to be overly optimistic about this team, especially just historically. The Raiders have not done well in games that are favored in for whatever reason, especially if they get too much hype, then they underperform and they disappoint. I'd rather keep my expectations low, and if they win, fantastic. So as my final score prediction for today, I'm going to go with a 28-24 Raiders loss. But I'm going to say that there is definitely a chance we win this game. And if we do win, it's obviously going to be close, maybe even another overtime game. Who knows? But it's definitely going to be a close game regardless. I don't think the Chargers are going to blow us out. That I can almost guarantee, because they haven't really blown out any teams this year. And even when we faced them last time, despite Carr throwing 3 interceptions, we still came in within striking range of winning that game, or at least tying that game. So I can't say that we're going to get blown out, but I think it's very possible we lose. So final score prediction is 28-24 Chargers win, but definitely think that the Raiders still have a chance. Let me know down in the comments how you guys feel, what you guys think about all that jazz. We have tough games coming up. We have the Rams 5 games on Thursday. That's a quick turnaround in LA, so it's at least not a long flight to LA, or drive, I should say. And by that point, we may have Waller back, maybe Renfro. If Hobbs doesn't play this game, he should be playing against the Rams, so maybe he'll get him back as well. So that's just looking ahead, and then we have the Patriots on Sunday Night Football in 2 weeks. So yeah, it's definitely a tough slate going forward. And if you want to check out my playoff, possibilities game video, I would definitely go check that out. It should be in the end of the video. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are feeling about this game, and peace out, Raider Nation.